People, when they are planning for their retirement, make calculations that span over multiple decades. This also applies to the growing tribe of financial independence and retire early or FIRE aspirants. Now, in all of these plans, a certain tax rate is assumed, and the government typically ends up changing the tax rate over and over again. If you just look at the past 5 years, right, or 5 to 6 years, 2018, the government got rid of the zero long-term capital gains tax and brought in a 10% LTCG on stocks and equity mutual funds. Before that, from 2004 to 2018, there was no tax on long-term capital gains if you held the stocks or equity funds for more than 1 year. After that, in the 2023 budget, the government brought in a slab rate taxation for debt mutual funds, which were earlier taxed at 20% with indexation if held for more than 3 years. However, the budget did grandfather the funds that had been bought before April 2023. Now, fast forward to the July 24 budget. That further raised the long-term capital gains tax from 10 to 12.5%, and it did away with the grandfathering that had been promised earlier. So now debt funds also faced a 12.5% flat tax if held for more than 2 years. The grandfathered debt funds, those which you have bought after April 23, of course, they face slab rate taxation. So you have these multiple tax changes that keep happening and completely mess a multi-decade financial plan. What are the lessons from all of this? So one is that if you're relying on tax loopholes, you can be rest assured sooner or later they are closed. And when they are closed, sometimes you don't even get the benefit of the past investments you've made. So classic case in point is with ULIP, unit linked insurance policy, where if you have more than 2.5 lakhs of annual premium, then you are taxed on the maturity proceeds. In case of other kinds of insurance policies, if it's more than 5 lakh premium, you are taxed on the maturity proceeds. The budget also closed the market linked debenture or MLD loophole that existed. So don't rely on loopholes, no matter how many suited and booted bankers come to your house and make slick presentations. The loopholes get closed. On the positive side, if you look at a product like NPS, where people complain that on maturity you have to put 40% of your corpus into annuities and the annuity is taxed at slab rate, you are making a decision today based on a taxation that you think will remain the same after 20, 30, 40 years. How realistic is that? It makes much more sense to look at today's taxation and keep in mind that sooner or later some government in the future is going to change it. Favorable or unfavorable, we don't know, but if today's taxation is favorable, might as well take advantage. Always keep this in mind when you're making these fine Excel calculations about what will happen over the next few decades, that governments are going to mess up your tax and there is an element of uncertainty. Do not be an Excel warrior. Keep this in mind and keep your financial planning dynamic.